Harlem Renaissance. What is it, and what impact did it have on African Americans in the United States? During the early 1900s, a great migration was taking place as many African Americans were moving from the rural South to the urban North. One of the places that African Americans moved to was a New York neighborhood called Harlem. Harlem in the 1920s became the epicenter for African American pride and unity. Harlem attracted talented African American writers, musicians, and artists. Residents of Harlem took pride in their African American culture and used this pride to help fight against racial inequality in the United States. With a large number of African Americans moving to Harlem, it was a perfect place for a cultural revolution. The Harlem Renaissance was a literary and artistic movement of African American culture. The Harlem Renaissance included African American writers and poets, musicians, artists, and performers. Black writers and poets from the Harlem Renaissance would focus on Black culture and creating pride within it. They would use their own experiences in their writings. Writers and poets wanted to paint for the reader what life was really like for an African American. A well-known example would be Langston Hughes's I Too Sing America. Black musicians would bring jazz with them when they moved north. Jazz was created in the South by African Americans combining various styles together. Harlem was the place to go to hear from Louis Armstrong, Bessie Smith, Duke Ellington, and other great jazz performers. Black artists and performers would express Black culture and life through their works of art and performances. Murals, like this one, was one medium artists would use to create African American pride in their community. The Harlem Renaissance created racial pride and identity, as well as created unity. It can be seen as the beginning of the civil rights movement. The Harlem Renaissance also helped African Americans gain acceptance in mainstream American society.
Created using Powtoon.